Sit on all those clothes. Don't move them.
Fine.
You're meant to sit on them.
Like you said, it's fine.
It's fine.
Welcome to the Brown Bricks Podcast, the most amount of fun you can have while listening to a podcast. I'm Phin.
I'm Jack. And I come bearing gifts, guys, because we're supposed to record this on Saturday. And I wasn't able to do that, so I wanted to apologize for you guys.
Oh,
You ring me.
what is this? Am I gonna like it?
You're gonna love it.
Oh
I think.
no, I don't want.
This is one. This is.
I don't want these.
So this is one. Sample or like serving of these cum pills that I bought called Lock and Load.
I thought it was Gorilla something.
It's
Well,
like
they
Gorilla
are.
Mind is like the brand, but
Okay.
Lock and Load is specifically. It doesn't make you have a good boner. It doesn't like improve sex at all. All it does is make you have the world's largest cum.
More cum.
Like literally like 5 times your output.
Well, Jack, how do I take? These are massive pills, by the way, listeners.
They're
these
horse
are
pills.
Fucking huge pills, looking like they're filled with very chalky
sawdust.
powder.
If we
They're-
get lunch after this, I'm going to leave these in the bathroom because it's funny.
Because I did label them cum
Yeah.
pills. And you have to take 9 of them. You have to take 5 in the morning and 4 at night.
And then when do you see that affect your load? The next day?
No, it's around like, so if you take them at night, so I took them at 4, when I came at 7, I saw it. And it literally knocked me
So
on
you
my...
woke up and you took 5 when you woke up.
Yep.
And then you took 4 at 4 p.m.
You gotta eat
Yep.
with,
And then
taking
7
them,
p.m.
right?
That's not, I didn't...
I doubt that's necessary. You should hydrate.
Yeah, you should definitely
You're going to be
hydrate.
losing more water this way. But
it does do something where it's like, when you do it, it's like scary. You're like, is my body supposed to be doing
Did you feel
this?
like your balls contract and like squeeze
It
out
wasn't even
every
like
last
squeezing it
drop?
out. It kind of felt like your balls needed to get that much
it
out.
is fucking insane that you take 9 of them.
Yeah.
No, that's what's crazy to me is that you take 9 of those pills. Like, it's not like, oh, just take 1 and you get good cums. It's like, no,
have
you
to
get good cums.
Do 9.
But you have to do 9 and it's on like a schedule. Like,
I wonder
this is-
how much of this stuff is going into the cum that you are like producing.
I have no
Or if it just
clue.
encourages more cum
I think it
production.
just encourages cum production because, like, for this to be getting to the cum, I guess how does your balls get
Cum?
material to cum?
I think it's some
That's
sort
a
of
good
magic.
question
Yeah.
as well. I don't fucking know.
Or does it just like activate a protein that like encourages semen production?
Yeah, but where does
I'm
it get
pretty
the,
sure
where does it get the
I would guess it's-
protein?
It encourages semen production, would be my guess.
because it's all blanks. I assume. Like I assume you can't shoot this out into somebody and it like.
You think this is making blanks?
I have no clue. It was
How-
white and it was viscous. Like it was all sticky.
Well, that's
but it was
not-
something where normally you can take like 2 tissues.
It's
and
more
just wipe it up.
watery if it's
I-
blank.
So this is a toilet bust here. You're recommending a toilet bust.
A toilet bust. What do you mean by that?
Bust
just
into
use
the
it-
toilet so
Oh.
you don't have to clean up.
You kind of want to see how much you're doing. Otherwise, what's the point?
I can see. I'll make big old jellyfish in there.
Oh yeah.
Come
no.
on like a tile.
No, if you do a toilet bust.
Then I gotta wipe down the tile.
No, if you do a
Okay.
toilet bust, the entire like top
You gotta
part of the
cover the
toilet's
rim.
gonna be or, like
It's that much.
the above like it's gonna be like a layer of cum and then like water underneath it.
Ugh, this is fucking gross.
It's again, I
ain't taking
I normally
these.
just
Maybe I'll just I'll have my window ready to be open. I'll just pop it open and bust out on the street.
just onto the street. There would be something to be said about like if you were getting caught by the cops and like a guy like came on him, he's like, oh, like what if that guy's like, oh yeah, he came on me. It's like, oh yeah, that's gross. And he's like, no, that wasn't the gross part. The
was
gross
so
part was just
fucking
the
fun.
amount of cum.
We've been talking about the amount of cum. What's the cum duration like?
It lasts for about 30 seconds.
Whoa.
Where it like keeps coming and you're like, oh no. But like it's one of those things where, you know, the first hit that you take of like a vape after you get super drunk and you're like, whoa, that's how it felt.
You just got
after
lightheaded?
you got lightheaded and you're like, all right, I need to
Yeah, just
sit
like
down.
fucking settle down.
I
Yeah.
don't know that I want to take.
No,
No,
they're,
I'm
they're
not
awesome.
fucking doing this.
I'm
This-
doing it
I'm
again.
kind.
I know,
I'm
this is gonna
kind
be
of
how I die.
I'm kind of curious.
No, it's definitely like you're not gonna die. It's just very interesting.
I might die.
I wanted to
don't
let
know.
you guys know my experience before.
I'm gonna be the
But I'll
guy
be
that,
taking these
that
again.
the fucking lawsuit is started over because it fucking killed me.
True. Yeah, it's made maybe a good idea to take these just to like get your foot in the door in the class action. That might.
But
Yeah,
if I
exactly.
am dead, I don't get that.
You're not gonna die.
You're not gonna
might
die.
die.
You're not gonna die. We're
What
young
if I
and
lose
spry.
my balls? What if they shrivel up because I took these?
You don't need balls.
But anyways,
I don't
you
want them.
go
Why?
buy
For what?
Lock and Load.
Good.
Use our code Brown Bricks at checkout. And
Yeah, if this is a sponsorship, that'd rock.
I would take a
I would take
Gorilla
the
Mind Lock and
Gorilla
Load
Mind.
Yeah,
sponsorship.
I
I would
think-
have no shame about that whatsoever.
I think I would proudly take that. I would make sure. But yeah, that's
let's maybe
I want.
we should maybe take all of us taking these every day for the duration of the podcast until
What
we
happens
stop
if you?
Oh, I agree,
Okay,
yeah.
wait.
to show that we're
The-
loyal customers.
I like the idea of threatening Gorilla Mind, where it's like we will not stop taking your cum pills until you give us a
We're not
sponsorship.
getting even cum.
The
I'm gonna
opposite
keep
of a
taking them
boycott.
Yeah, well, no,
until
it's-
my balls explode.
Well, it's because they know how like dangerous that probably
what
would be.
sort of warnings do they have on the bottle of that?
On the warnings, they're like, "Do not let a child even
They
look
said
at
don't
this."
take more than 9 a day.
Yeah, they're like, you have to take 9. Like that's the required amount.
not
But
take
do
more.
not take 10. Do not take 10.
Well, I'm wondering if you take these like enough and you don't come ever, what happens to you?
You might die.
Yeah, that's probably no good.
That's probably how you.
Yeah, you don't want the. I assume
Your balls
eventually,
just
like your
inflate.
body would probably do something where it's like you just brush your dick against your like you brush your dick against like I don't know your pants, and then you're like oh,
It
and
just
you just
leak
all of that.
all
Yeah,
Yeah,
at a certain point, the cums just gotta go. You know.
and your body
Well,
doesn't care
like
how.
your body can reabsorb cum, but
Well, it's like throwing up. It would just be like your body's like I gotta get this out somehow.
But
Like
it can't reabsorb it.
this
enough,
amount of cum. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
a gorilla amount.
yeah, not a gorilla mindset amount. But yeah,
I do like that brand name, Gorilla Mind.
it was when my
What other products do they have?
I think a lot of them are like just
a lot of
protein
erection
supplements.
pills.
There's some,
Let me take a look.
yeah.
Check their catalog out.
Yeah, all I know is that
Their fall catalog.
Maybe they have pills that make girls squirt.
that would be
Squirt
that would
real
be,
hard.
That would be cool and inclusive. That would be really funny if a girls cum pill, where it's basically just like more pee, and so it just goes everywhere.
More girl cum.
More girl cum, and then they just pee a shit ton. They're like, well, this isn't really.
This isn't what anybody
That would
wanted.
be really funny if you like slipped it into somebody's thing, and they're like, I just can't stop peeing. I don't know what it is.
They have something they call Respawn, which is they describe as a gaming formula.
Ooh.
Cum gaming formula.
You can die and come back to life.
That would be
Take
very
only
valuable.
9
They have something called Gorilla Mind Smooth.
What does that do?
I don't know. It
Brain.
says it's a nootropic formula.
Tropic.
Okay, so
Heard that word. I don't know.
well, I
what
assume
it
it's just
means.
like nutrient formula.
8+ hours of smooth focus, increased efficiency, no jitters.
Oh, so it's like caffeine but without the jitters.
Yeah, they're.
That's interesting. Those sound like a lot more ethical than what we're
Those
taking.
just seem like fucking G Fuel.
They have pre-workout, but they also have entry-level pre-workout.
Whoa, buddy, slow down on the pre-workout.
That's cool. That's not a thing I've ever heard of before.
Hyper hydration formula, bro. Drink water.
Yeah, that's,
Don't
I do
spend-
like the
Don't
Don't
hydration.
spend $40 on Hydro Prime glycerol.
I do love all like the hydration formula, and you just pour shit into water, and it's like, wow, you just drank water and made it taste a little bit less bad.
Electrolytes are part of hydration that water doesn't.
Yeah, I
provide
think people
that much.
do actually stand by like the electrolytes, the sugar, and all that stuff in like a Gatorade is like good for you.
No,
like,
yeah, 100%.
Like it's better to hydrate with that than it is with water when you're like tired from exercise.
Yeah.
But like most people just drink water.
When I'm sick, I drink a fuck ton of Gatorade because it's better for hydration.
That makes sense.
It's the electrolyte.
Yeah.
I don't
I say the
even
water.
normally drink Gatorade. I just like it during.
I just
being
drink
sick.
Gatorade when I'm sick because when I'm really sick and like struggle to eat food,
Yeah,
it's like I need a little something.
you need the salts
need a
and the sugars.
I do saltine crackers and Gatorade. I survive off that.
The salts are good from what I watched the guy eviscerate Logan Paul's energy hydration
Salt
thing.
is actually essential to life.
Yeah, you need salt.
But too much of it.
Well, that's the thing is that because it's essential and it was so hard to find for a while, like any salt that we could get was considered like ambrosia, where our bodies were like, that's fucking awesome. And we still haven't like gotten past that.
Yeah.
But we found enough salt that we're just like, let's put it in everything. And so all of like the worst things for you are just filled to the brim with all that salt. Your body doesn't know what to do with it, so it needs to cum it out. By the way,
Gorilla Mind cum pills.
The one funny thing that happened was that Jackson and I were watching the Five Nights at Freddy's feature film, and
we were both taking our pills. Watching Five Nights at
and
Freddy's
then Chica came on, and oh boy, oh geez,
that TV was plastered.
Yeah, that was a problem.
We were not able to watch the rest.
But
of the
the
movie.
good thing is, after you busted all over the TV, it was the perfect spot for a projector.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Lit
it
up
was. It just kind
perfectly.
of Spider-Man'd up on the side. It was like, well, because we wanted to like close the blinds, and I'm like, don't worry, and I just shot it out of my penis like a Spider-Man. That's actually what it makes you do. It turns you into Spider-Man. You see like your phone over there, and you're like, oh, and then you grab it, and then it swips back to you.
Jack forgot the keys to his apartment, but he saw that the window was open.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he just took a pill and shot his dick up at the window. Dragged himself in.
Climbing up the side. Like, I love the idea that someone's like taking a video and they're like, oh cool, someone's like Spider-Maning, and then they like zoom in and they're like, what
coming
the
out of your penis.
All your limbs are hanging down behind you as you hang from the window.
They think it's like a 3D maneuver gear that's like coming out, and then they look and they can see my hog just like getting stretched out to the infinity. But yeah,
cool.
When we were watching that, my cousins just like appeared. My cousins and like wherever they, one of them has like company, and they had like a company retreat out to Topgolf and then to an ice cream place right across from mine. And they were like, "Oh, can we like come see your apartment?" And I was like, okay. And then it was super dirty, and I was like gonna clean it today, which I did, and it was like basically but the Gorilla Mind stuff was sitting right on my counter in my bathroom. And I just, because Jackson was sitting out there waiting to watch the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, I just tapped him on the shoulder when he got into my place, and I was like, hide the gorilla pills in the bathroom. And he's like, what the fuck? And then he goes in, and then he was like, yeah, I didn't know what you meant at first. And I saw those, and I was like, oh yeah. And I was like, I could explain a lot of things in here. I could not explain away those.
Cum pills. The Giga cum pills.
You guys want to see this? They're hyper cum pills.
Yeah. I'm sure they'd be interested, at least the men in the party.
Yeah, were there any Sigmas amongst them?
They were all Sigmas.
They were all Sigmas. Maybe you could have found a better brand, or maybe you could have compared brands.
Oh, yeah. They're like, oh, well, that's not the cum pills I use. The cum pills I use require me to eat 15.
Rhino Buster cum pills.
Rhino Breaker.
The only cum pills I take, you got to be on Forbes 40 under 40 to buy them.
I do love like Ozempic, and then it's the same like level of like fervor that Ozempic's gotten, where it's like the Hollywood elite are all taking this one pill, and
They're all
it's just
taking these cum pills for weight loss.
Yeah, it like shoots out the fat in you, as opposed to like I would love it. Just
It'd be
like
all lumpy.
Mindy Kaling, Zach Galifianakis, they all look like skeletons, and it's like that's after three doses of
wrung out.
3 weeks of cum pills have led them to look like this. They all look like they got the buccal fat surgery, but instead they were just coming it out. Yeah,
that is a horrifying surgery.
But yeah, I showed them that one video of my stay-at-home girlfriend, and it was funny because a lot of them are like trad calf wives. Yeah. And I was just railing on her because I was like, what she's doing is so stupid. And everyone's like, her dress is really cute, though. And I was like, no.
Yeah, but she doesn't fucking have a life. Fuck you.
That's such a funny way to try to be okay with that. To be like, wow, look at this miserable existence. It's like, yeah, but her clothes are cute.
But her husband probably really loves her.
Yeah. No, sure.
Yeah.
Almost definitely.
Well, it was just funny to me because I was saying that stuff. And then they were like, what's so wrong with that? And I was like, what do you like? It was like there's one part where she drives her husband to the gym and then comes back, and I noted that was like funny because it was like she didn't do any other errands. She just drove him to the gym, drove him back, and then picked him up. And I was like, does he have a DUI? And it's like, no, it's because they love each other. And I'm like, you understand that everything around this video makes it seem fucking insane.
Yeah, she didn't have to she could have stayed at home and he could have driven himself.
Oh yeah, no.
Would have saved gas, actually.
Yeah, exactly. No, there's about a million reasons that didn't make sense.
Is that the one where she keeps getting like Starbucks?
Yeah, she keeps
that's
getting
the one.
Different liquids.
Yeah, she has a million liquids by the end of it. I think the liquid count when I did a real deep dive on it for our family presentation was like 8. I remember all I did because everyone else had a family presentation that was like, what would everyone do in a heist? It's like, what's everyone's Taylor Swift song in the entire thing? And I was like, look at this fucking dumb bitch.
There's people out there where that's what entertains them, and that genuinely stresses me out. right? Like when
Yeah, the
someone
idea.
like laughs at that or like has a good time being like, what we all do in a heist, and like
Yeah.
that's like their get together fun. It's like what? So, I'm sorry, I'm too poisoned and jaded.
I'm the brains. I gotta be the brain. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the tiny man.
Actually, I was considered the master planner because I quote unquote have a podcast.
Oh my god!
So that was pretty good.
I liked when you guys brought up the Taylor Swift one. They all remembered which song was theirs.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh yeah, because it was like, oh, they're singling me out, and that's cute. I was Glitch because it's a little anime and video
little
gamey.
gamer.
That's what they said.
I
to
had
me.
never related to Jack more than I saw how his family talked to him.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, this is how they look at you.
No, but they're like, I'm like a fun. I'm not like a fun oddity. Like they like me, but it's like
true.
one
You
of
do
those
talk
things where
to them more than I talk to my family.
yeah, I like talking to my
I
family.
have
They're nice.
very little ability to like feign enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so my family, if they tried that, I would just look at them with dead eyes.
I do.
Very sad.
And they would go, all right, well.
Feigning enthusiasm is my hyphenated middle name, so that's kind of. I feel like
they leave me alone.
that's like what if they said your Taylor Swift song was X, Y, or Z? How would you respond?
I would go, I don't know
Hey.
that song.
All right. What if they
Just
said
like
it
go up
was?
to them, just be like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
It's like
I would
okay.
go, oh, okay, I've never heard that.
Phineas,
Oh, yeah,
Phineas
'cause
says a Taylor Swift song is a blank space
Why?
between his fucking ears. Got him.
Bro,
bro, bro.
Sorry.
Oh, bro.
I don't want to do the podcast.
Well, okay. What song am I? It doesn't have to be a Taylor Swift song.
You're
It could be
anti-hero.
Okay, that's cool. That's
You're a song you've never heard before called Fat Fucking Idiot.
That sounds like a pretty funny song.
Yeah. No, you're anti-hero because you are.
What
standing
a
on
what a
girls with
what a
sexy
100
babies.
Gex song am I, Phineas?
You're
Money
none of
machine.
them because you suck.
Okay. Damn, I'm sorry. I didn't
Yeah.
mean any of that.
You're the song by them called "I Need Help Immediately" because you need help,
No, I hear the song.
and also because that's their worst song.
Ooh. So I don't know if you've been browsing Twitter recently, Jack, but have you seen that fucking wook hippie girl who makes music?
No, fill me in on her.
Well, she got kind of popular during Burning Man because she would
Oh,
just make
yeah.
TikToks, and she looks like she's got a fuck ton of disgusting, ratty strands of blonde hair.
That's the kind of hair that you grab and it's crunchy when you grab it, and you're
She's
like,
fucking
ugh.
hot though. That's
No,
the
she's
problem.
not. She's like
She's
a weirdo.
fucking hot. I would not want to smell her or touch her, but I would admire her from afar.
If you could plug your nose, would you fuck her?
Yeah,
No.
probably.
I
I've
think
been
I-
with a condom on.
I just think that she seems insufferable. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, this is entirely in a zero space where it's only this is happening, and I'm not having
Yeah.
to like talk to
you
her.
just you appear on Final Destination and you're gonna fuck her. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
But she's been making music, and it's really fucking bad.
I'll play it for the.
Pass a little bit of shrooms. Did that tree just talk or was it you?
This is like, wait, this is the full music.
On my skin, feel my face melting. Ecstasy.
This is awful.
Oh my God.
Like the beat is terrible with that, and like her.
It's kind of just mid.
It's
It's just like
Yeah.
if you're trying to crank out like a single for someone who wants to kind of awkwardly force them
Yeah.
music, that's what you'd expect.
It's just like,
That's
haha,
fair.
I'm taking shrooms and acid, and did that tree talk?
Oh,
my
dude,
god!
I hate people who are like that. There's
This
something
is how
about
they do
shrooms and acid
drugs.
people where they're like, dude, it's like revolutionary. I'm like, no, it's actually really fun.
I think
but
if you talk about it extensively outside of the experience, there's something wrong with you.
yeah, the Impossible to Say girls take it and they're like, that's badass, that's a good time. I like how they take it. But then there's a million other people who I listen to who are just like, yeah, it kind of changes your life. Like it changes your outlook. And I'm like, if that did that, then you had such a shitty
It will
outlook.
change your brain if you fucking take it too much and destroy it utterly. But
Yeah, that's like realign pathways to my knowledge, but it's also something
I
that
would say the one time I took acid changed me, but in a negative way because I took too much and it was a really bad time.
well, what did you learn that made you think it was a permanent change?
I learned that acid is scary if you don't respect it.
Yeah, that is a scary drug.
Well, that's a lesson, I guess, at least.
I think
So I'm changed in a sense.
I've never respected a drug more than when I took acid, where like I had some of the smartest people I know sitting in like a room and they're like, we're all going to take acid and we're going to schedule it. We're going to make sure that none of us are on our phones and we will get here at 9:30 and take it at 10 and then we will hang out for a little. We will watch a movie.
Not quite how I did it. I was given
Phineas had
2 tabs.
Wait, 2 tabs on your first time?
That's
That's fucking
a
wild.
guy who I kind of know, wrapped up in a gum wrapper. I'm like, cool. And I went home and I took them and I did.
Both?
Yeah, that was a very
I took
fun
both.
one, right?
And I had a bunch of crosswords that I did along with them.
Okay, yeah, that's a tough drug to mix with acid.
And then as I was starting to feel bad, I'm like, let me look up this combination of crosswords and acid.
Yeah.
And people were like, I wouldn't recommend it. I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh no!
Immediately destroying your eye.
It was destroyed at that point.
Yeah, you were just more like
That was a night. My God.
Yeah.
I also took it
Yeah.
really, really late.
Oh, yeah.
oh god.
I remember
I
he was
dropped
taking a bath
at
for, like,
midnight, and then
hours.
I'm like, I'm gonna go take a bath, and the bath was a horrible idea.
That's wait, what happened in the bath?
I got in the bath. I'm like, this is nice, and then I looked at our walls, and our bathroom was very dirty, and we had dirty walls, and it looked like insects crawling all around.
Oh,
me.
no.
And I was like, fuck, I gotta get out of the bath.
But
also,
you could not
very
get it.
bad for him. Nobody else was high.
Oh yeah, it was just me.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
But we got through it.
No, that's good. I'm glad you're alive. That
Yeah.
seems like it was tough.
Kill him.
I'd like to talk about on your notes here. You had Charli D'Amelio working at a Walmart,
Oh yeah, I sure did.
that shit.
and my only note is that she's got to be scanning faster. That's not kind of
That is-
I like how she's just scanning 1,000 bags of chips. Like, there's no like.
I mean, it's
proper
clearly a
stuff,
photo op. She's like posing.
but it is just
Yeah.
all chips.
No, it is just it's like, but no, that's her whole thing. Is she has like a
sells
popcorn
chips?
brand
Oh,
that she's
popcorn.
promoting. That's why she was doing all this.
okay.
Because she wanted to promote the popcorn brand. But
Yeah,
for some reason they
scan
figured
a bit faster. Stop fixing your hair. You
where
dumb bitch.
where did Lana Del Rey go work?
I think it was also at a Walmart.
No, it was a Waffle House.
Waffle
Yeah, the
House,
Waffle
yeah.
House thing, and it was something where it was like the poor people cosplay is fucking out of control at this point.
I can see Lana Del Rey at a Waffle House, so I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
see Charli D'Amelio.
Lana Del Rey is a trashy bitch.
I want Charli D'Amelio to have to deal with like real Walmart customers. Like they don't shut down the store for a photo op.
The gutter people.
They literally just come out
Walmartians.
and they're just like sitting there and like she's just like scanning slowly and they're like, "Hey, speed it up." I don't know how Walmart people act. They seem nice.
I wouldn't say it's like that. I would say it's a lot of people who are quiet, but just kind of looking around real shit.
Yeah. Oh, they'd be looking at her and like she would not feel comfortable by the way that they looked at her.
She's got to try and stop a shoplifter from running out the door.
Charli D'Amelio, if she had to work at a place like that, she's Target.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, why'd
But
you
Target
choose
Target
Walmart?
is like stressed out like woke kids. That's how I always
Every
view.
time I go to Target, they have the worst cashiers in the world.
They really do.
It's like,
people like our friend Connor, asshole.
Yeah.
well, I may just be going to the wrong Target, but every time I go, it's like old people who give off the vibe that like they could use a little bit extra money, or they just have a lot of free time. So they're like, "Oh, I love shopping at Target. I'll work at Target," and so they're like talking way too much, big ass lines,
Oh,
and
I
going
hate
so
that.
slow. And it's like, look, I'm not expecting you to bust ass here.
Yeah.
All right. I'm expecting you to just scan, pay, and move on.
Yeah.
And if you have anything where like they have to call someone open to
Oh
like
my
if you get like a
God.
bottle of liquor from Target.
dude,
You're just
something
talking
like
about
that.
the self-checkout?
No, I'd go to the self checkout if I can, but sometimes
you want to get the
sometimes
bottle of
I
liquor.
forget my past mistakes and I see that there's like one person in front
Yeah.
of me almost done, and I'm like, oh, self checkout has a line. I'll go there.
Yeah.
Right. And it will just be this one woman who like they're finished and she'll talk for them for 10 minutes. It's like, do you not see me and
Yeah.
the people behind me waiting to get the fuck
It's
out
a
of here?
fucking, like, Sunday
I would,
afternoon.
if somebody was doing that, I would just walk up to their machine.
No, it's not self-checkout I'm talking about. This is the
No, this
regular
is like
checkout.
a
I do
person.
this
Okay, well, that- yeah,
when the
that is
self-checkout
insane.
has a line, and I have my stuff on the belt, and I'm sitting there. These people are paid. She has not begun to scan my shit. It's like, I want to go.
Yeah, no.
I want to give you my money and go. I'm not expecting you like you to be the most polite customer service ever. I'm not expecting you to even do this quickly.
Yeah.
But do it. Start doing it.
Yeah, speak to me at the bare minimum. Like, I'd actually really like that if you were just like scan, like, I don't know, like $75. And I was like, cool. All right.
But cashier, they don't talk to me. I make sure of that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, because
Shut
they,
that shit down.
I
Like,
they're
sew-
always
I
like, did
sew
you
their
have,
mouth
did you have a
shut.
good time shopping? And I'm like, yeah. Did you find everything? And they're like, the weather's crazy outside. And I'm like, okay, no, you drifted into something that was not you trying to help
what
me
you
here.
do if they say like the weather's crazy outside is like, you know, when someone says like, hey, how you doing? And you go, hi, right? You don't
Yeah.
answer because so when they say that, I say goodbye.
Uh-oh.
If they do all that and they go this weather outside, I'm like, have a good one.
What if
and
they're
I walk away.
What if they're still scanning? What if they're like
Yeah,
one
that's it, like-
third of the
well,
way?
yeah, if they're still scanning stuff and they're making small talk.
Hi, goodbye.
Goodbye. And they're
But like if I'm checked out and like sometimes these motherfuckers will talk to me and they'll be like, God, you hear about this? I'm like, nope, bye.
That is very.
Because
smart,
I'm like,
actually.
I'm sorry.
not.
You're not a bad person, I'm sure, but I don't fucking know you. Leave me alone.
Yeah, no,
Fuck off.
It is funny though, because it's like all of those people. It just is like the most infuriating thing, because a lot of them will just be like young women just like scanning slowly, and then they'll call over the person to like help them out with the liquor, but they've been scanning at such a glacial pace for so long, and it's like, well, you could scan the other things that aren't like the liquor right now, and then it's like you knew that this was going to
No.
happen when you scanned the liquor, so you should have scanned everything and then been like, turn on my thing and then scan while that's happening. And
I mean, look, if they're like not totally ideal in their order of like handling the liquor, it's fine. But like, I'm literally talking about Target specifically.
yeah, Target.
What kind of small talk
They
do
will
you think
be
Charli
talking
D'Amelio-
to the person in front of me after they're done scanning all their shit. My shit is on the belt. The people in front of me are paid, and it's like, you're done.
Yeah, get
done.
go.
Finish.
We're not-
What kind of small talk do you think Charli D'Amelio would make?
I know nothing about
I
Charli
actually think
D'Amelio,
that she
man,
would
as a
She,
probably-
could she
concerted
ask
effort.
you if you would know her dances?
No, I actually
I
think
would say
Charli D'Amelio.
no. I know you do dances, but I've never seen them, or any that I have, I don't remember.
No, goodbye. no, goodbye.
Have a good day.
You gotta pay, sir. Sir, you have to pay.
No, we're done here.
I
actually.
don't have to do shit for you.
Yeah, you're paying. No, the Charli D'Amelio thing. I think she would actually.
Target only gets me in trouble once I go over a certain amount. I know that. I'm
and I know I'm,
track.
And I'm
just below that
I'm
amount
about
right now.
there, but it's okay.
This is the last shoplift I'll
Yeah,
ever
Jack,
do.
you got to start stealing
Yeah.
Pokemon cards from different Targets.
No, they track them across.
Oh, okay. Well, you got to start stealing up to your limit then.
Okay, yeah. Well, I just don't feel like that's necessary.
But you're not gonna get in trouble.
You make a good
allowed.
point. Yeah, it's allowed. They've tacitly allowed this.
Theoretically.
God, I just am so sad that we never got in on those George Floyd protests where they were just stealing all the Legos. That seemed like
you
a good
gotta get a
time.
bunch of cards.
Because we could have a bunch of Pokemon cards and Legos.
I don't know what I'd do with it all.
You don't know what you'd do with Legos? You'd build them.
But I would have a lot more of them. I don't have room for that.
I have too
Motherfucker,
many.
you are not the kind of person who worries about that.
Yeah.
You would get
I'd get
another
another
shelf. You'd figure it out.
Yeah.
That's how you do
The
it.
I don't.
Lego-
And listen, I have Legos on my shelf right now. I don't think it looks good. I don't like Legos.
Well, you just need them on a
Legos
separate.
don't fit
You need them on a
with all
separate
other
shelf
stuff.
because you have them with anime
yeah,
figurines.
but I
and
don't know. I don't like the idea of displaying them. Legos are meant for playing.
My mom is turning my old bedroom at our house into her Lego room.
How do
She
you feel
puts all
about
the
that?
Legos. I'm fine with it.
that's cool. That's actually a cool use for your old bedroom.
I mean, during Christmas, when I sleep there the night before Christmas, so we can have like breakfast and everything. So I'll be surrounded by Legos. That'll be a little annoying
It'd be scary.
because they are going to be everywhere. It's
They're
just not a lot of
gonna
Legos.
fall on you and they're gonna crush you to death.
I stubbed my toe last night really
Oh,
bad.
Lego.
No, on my radiator. I had got out of bed to piss, and I was pretty high.
Oh,
And
that
I
sucks.
really bashed the fuck out of my toe, and I caught like the skin on the side of the nail, and I'm like, "Fuck!" But I hopped to the bathroom because I really had to piss. So I'm hopping to the bathroom, and then I get in the bathroom and turn the light on. My toe is covered in blood. I ripped a bunch of skin off, and it was bleeding all over my toe.
Okay?
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, I'm good. I went back over the next morning because I'm like, I'm not dealing with cleaning this up right now. And there was a bit of blood on the radiator, but none got on the carpet, so we're all good. Because that would have been a fucking bitch to clean.
No, carpet blood's
Hydrogen
tough.
peroxide.
You have to really...
Yeah, but then I have to go buy some shit. But radiator.
Well, hydrogen peroxide's always nice to have.
Yeah, I should have it, but,
Have you seen...
radiator, I just wipe it with Clorox wipe, and it's good to go.
What?
Speaking of that kind of vibe, have you seen This Amazing Man? I think you guys will really like.
Amazing, man.
Giving away fentanyl? Was that just a joke?
No, it's not a joke.
This convicted sex offender set up camp across the street from a Catholic grade school in San Francisco's Richmond district more than 2 years ago. But it was his signs offering free drugs that had authorities moving him out today. And that's only part of this story. Believe it or not, there is more.
Yeah, that's right. The I-Team's Dan Noyes was there, joins us now. What else happened while you were out there, Dan?
There was a lot, and Daniel. I saw the headline in the San Francisco Standard and had to go see for myself. And things got heated today. A parent from the school apparently punching that man in the face.
I've been in San Francisco basically homeless for 26 years.
46-year-old Adam Moore tells me he has lived on the sidewalk across the street from...
This guy's cool.
So I just think that guy's cool as shit. Let the sex
Yeah,
offender
I
get
Does he
that.
have
fentanyl to-
drugs?
No, he's got fentanyl.
I believe he has fentanyl. When he said, "Are you joking?" and he goes, "No, I'm serious. I'm giving
No,
fentanyl."
I'm serious.
You can look in that man's eyes and tell that he's genuinely
giving
giving
fentanyl.
out.
What would a
fentanyl.
little kid do with fentanyl?
I do like that he's just got like...
Die?
You think they
Yeah.
die?
Yes.
I do like that he's just
Child,
like...
yeah.
No, yeah,
Nah, maybe
you
they get a
die
good
if you
high.
got fentanyl if you were a child.
Maybe they get a good high. Maybe he's giving out
You have to be
kid-sized
so
doses.
low with the dose, even being an adult,
Yeah.
that a little baby boy.
Maybe he's giving out the little baby dose.
No, he's giving out like bricks.
Well, he
He's
wants
not-
new users. He's not trying to kill them. He
Well,
wants new users.
that's what's ironic is that he's got the sign that says 4 new users, free fentanyl, which, most users of fentanyl, like hardcore fentanyl for the first time, they either become very good recurring customers or they die. So,
I mean,
that's
the
a
good
tough-
thing about calling it fentanyl is you go into it knowing it's fent.
Yeah, no, you're not
I
getting
like
cut
the
with
idea
anything.
of like one of those little Catholic children walking out of school and just going up to him and be like, "Yeah, today's the day."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I see him out there like for like months on end, and I'm like,
Yeah, like
nope,
it's like the same
not
thing
gonna
with like
go.
like a food truck or something where it's like I haven't tried that in forever and it's just been there. Like I should probably give it a shot.
Yeah.
You're a little drunk, you're a little looser. I mean, not for the...
Yeah.
They take
well,
communion real quick. And the little boy gets.
I'm
a little
I'm no longer talking about the little boy. I'm talking about if I was like a guy out of the bars, I was walking somewhere,
Free fentanyl.
and I see a free fent tent. If I'm just walking there
Fent
on a
tent.
regular day, a fent tent.
Fenton. It's hero time.
Shut the fuck up. Normally I go no, but if I'm drunk, it's like how I am with the Euro truck. I go, yeah, I could go for a fucking
Yeah.
Euro, and it's overpriced, and I shouldn't do it, and I should get something else. But I'm fucked up.
Normally,
Yeah.
people have to pay for their drugs. This guy's giving them away for free.
Well, that's what's so nice.
How
about it.
does he know if they're new users or not?
They're not dead, or that you?
How
I'm
is he
pretty sure
even
you can
getting
tell
this stuff?
on somebody if they're like a consistent user of
Maybe
fentanyl.
looks for like needle marks or something.
Yeah, that's like a meth thing where it's like, oh, you're a meth head. That's not.
How
gonna
is
be
he getting? How is he affording giving away free fent?
He's actually the previous CMO of
Because
Apple.
he's also selling fent to
Yeah.
other people.
Probably.
That is probably true.
I guess he did only say free for new users. If you're, that's always the deal. Is like your first hit is free.
Right.
That's why Jack gave us these cum pills. This is our first hit, and we're gonna come
yeah,
back
that's
for more.
the trust us because if you use the code Brown Bricks at checkout for your lock and load,
Have you guys heard of Silent Hill Ascension?
No.
I've heard like
The
nothing
new
good about it. Like people are
unfortunate
mixed about it.
entry into the Silent Hill genre, which
There's
is
going to be a backstory for Pyramid Head. I
not
believe.
actually a game.
What is it?
It's like a live stream of like cutscenes where people vote on like what happens,
Well, that's a bold way to do
and you could
anything.
kind of just chat whatever you want in the chat on the side.
That's so
say
inoffensive.
like slurs.
Yeah, that's so inoffensive that I just am like, well, that can just be that can be over
the
there.
people watching it
and
will
you
like
pay, you
be
can pay
choosing.
to vote.
They'll be choosing
more.
like the canon then
Yeah.
in that sense. Is the live stream in and of itself?
It's very
canon.
ugly. I can show you.
What's it streaming on?
It's I think it's its own thing. Like you
Kick.
buy it and then you. Like,
So
watch
are they
it
like
live.
being like diegenic with it, where like the live stream like exists in universe too?
I don't think so.
Here's
No, I think it's
here's the
just
crazy
story.
thing. That from what you've said, that has made me way more interested in it. That sounds like actually kind of a cool idea.
But it's ugly as shit.
Oh, well, then there you go.
Let me see. This is not exactly what I was looking for. I'm not like the biggest follower of Silent Hill, but it's very ugly.
Does Pyramid Head say the N-word? Can you get him to say the N-word if you super chat high enough? On Rumble? On Grumble?
pay $1,000 for that.
Pyramid Head N-word goal. There's just, it's sitting right there.
This is kind of what it was supposed to look like here. And you can see like from this image that the UI is just fucking like so huge compared to like the actual game or like whatever it is you're supposed
Okay,
to be
well, that
watching.
just looks like one of their slot machine things.
Yeah.
It's like pull the
Well,
lever.
I never really had much interest in Silent Hill in the first place, and the one thing they could do to make me 100% not interested in it is
Make it an XQC
making
live
it a
stream.
live stream.
Something that nobody fucking asked
Like,
for. Everybody just wanted a normal ass fucking game.
No, they wanted that. They wanted that. Well, it's probably because Konami is like, well, live streams are big with the kids. How do we get in on that? Because if they're just going to live stream our game, they're like, what if we could profit from the live stream?
Yeah, and I guess they're gonna. Yeah, like you can vote at the bottom, but you can like buy like voting points
That's cool.
outside of the game.
As a disgusting capitalist, I think that's
Fucking
based.
what the fuck?
I think it's stupid, and I think anybody who actually like does that is stupid. But I think that it's one of those things where like Silent Hill has been dead for so long that the idea of this being how it comes back is just like, all right.
It's so sad.
I mean, I guess it's better than a pachinko machine.
Yeah, that's pull the lever.
I don't know if it is.
Pull the lever to beat Pyramid Head. That's a good. There's that one thing where it's like pull the lever and Pyramid Head's like roar. It's a good.
I'm Pyramid Head. I'm a guy with the pyramid.
What is
but it's
the-
not even a pyramid. Pyramid Head doesn't even have a fucking pyramid for a head. That's like a weird isosceles pyramid.
I mean, that's
yeah.
still a pyramid.
Yeah, it's a pyramid.
Yeah,
you have to
I
have a
guess.
four-sided base.
Yeah, I guess. It's an isosceles triangle, but it's in 3D.
Yeah. No, I guess
Isn't that the
that is
saddest?
true. I don't like that though.
Yeah, I kind of like it.
I mean, aren't all pyramids like either isosceles or equilateral triangles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you'd have a fucked up pyramid otherwise.
No, I mean,
Well, I don't think there's many that aren't like you don't have many isosceles pyramids.
I mean, the two going up from the bottom
Also-
would have to be the same length to meet at the center, so they'd all be isosceles.
Yeah.
Or they'd be equilateral if the base was the same.
Well,
length.
yeah, I'm saying I think most of them are equilateral.
All right.
that makes
I'm not.
sense.
I'm not a pyramid scientist. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm not a pyramid.
I know what I think pyramids look like, and that's not what Pyramid Head's head looks like.
Well, he's called Pyramid Head
Because
and
that's
it's
what.
technically
What would
a
you call
pyramid.
him?
Well, yeah. What would you
exactly?
call him?
What exactly would you call him as opposed to?
Not that.
Okay, that's the one thing everyone agrees on. That's a hot Silent Hill take that you think Pyramid Head's name's bullshit. What do you think? Should his name be?
His name should be fucking Triangle Man.
That's actually pretty good.
The wondrous wedge.
What's the guy's name from fucking Gravity Falls?
Oh,
Illuminati guy.
oh, what's his face? Bill Cipher.
Bill Cipher. Yeah.
That's not. That
Bill
is
Cipher's
He should
dad.
be named Bill Cipher.
Mr. Bill
His
Cipher.
Mr. William Cipher.
Yeah,
is his
like
father.
What was it, like 20 years before, or like 15 years probably before that game was made, or that show was made? They're
Yeah.
like, this is Mr. Bill Cipher. It's gonna make sense later.
I've never watched Gravity Falls, but I saw a GIF where Bill Cipher drinks some tea and his eye turns into a little mouth that sips the tea. and I thought that was awesome.
Bill Cipher is awesome. There's that one really good gif where the guy's like, will you please spare us? And he's like, no, but I will rearrange every hole on your face. And then he snaps his fingers and like his ear becomes his mouth and then his eye becomes like his ear.
God, I wish that was me.
And then he's like, he just is incapable of doing anything. It's pretty, he's a cool character. I love Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls rocks.
Why don't you marry it then?
Okay.
Speaking of Disney.
What?
Speaking of Disney.
What?
And things that I used to love, but now, have you guys
they
heard about?
Finally gone too woke for you?
Have
Jack?
you guys heard about the Marvel Variety article that got put out?
Where they said this
I wanna stop
dying? I
talking about
don't want to talk about it.
No, this one's kind of the one thing that was I skimmed it. It's very interesting. It's basically talking about how much of a shit show it is over there. And the two things that I thought were funny was one, during the She-Hulk thing, the whole thing was that she was never supposed to transform for all 8 episodes, and like the very end was supposed to be her like turning into the She-Hulk.
What?
Why would that be your idea? For
That's not even what the comic.
Well,
is
here's
about.
the thing, and then afterwards they were like, "This sounds really stupid. We should probably not do this." And then they just told the VFX team, "You have like 5 weeks. You have to change the entire thing."
Wait,
and then
so that they literally shot it as
they
her
shot
not-
it as that for a lot of it, because a lot of the scenes where she's like She-Hulk Jen Walters, they were like, "Oh, she's just a regular person," and they're like, "You're gonna have to put She-Hulk in there," and it was like, "Oh, okay."
like- I've not seen the show, but I feel like that's probably not true.
I've seen the show, and it's not like complete. Like it was something where it's like, okay, there were like 1 or 2 times where she had to be She-Hulk. The rest of the time, they were talking to her as a person, and she was just She-Hulk in the scene. So it could have been something where it's like they saved like her being full She-Hulk for the whole thing, and she would occasionally sporadically transform. But instead, they were like, "There's not enough She-Hulk in here, so VFX team, overwork yourselves."
It's true. There was.
And the one funny other thing was like, so the Blade movie, you know how that was
Yeah.
like kind of
It was supposed
turbulent?
to come out yesterday or 2 days ago.
It was so the reason why it's like they were like, we can't do anything is like originally the script that they had, Blade ended up being like the 4th or 5th like lead in his movie, and it was a bunch of like it was quote,
Bunch of young,
quote unquote
preppy.
a bunch of strong, powerful women, and it mostly centered around life lessons for them. And that was going to be the Blade movie.
Well, Jack, they didn't make it, so you can't even call it woke. They were just like, no, we can't do that.
I can call something conceptually woke, and that was very conceptually
but
woke.
a lot of these things just get canceled anyways. You know?
That's good that
That's
got.
the
The
like,
only reason
if they started like filming all of that and then had to like drop the movie, that's different. But they just didn't.
they
film.
They didn't film it because Mahershala Ali's like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm walking this.
Yeah,
script
he's not gonna
sucks."
do that.
And then they were just like, well, we should probably remake this, and so they got the guy who made Logan. He's writing a new script.
All right, let's stop talking about Marvel. Marvel's
Yeah.
boring. I hate it.
Yeah, you know it's not boring.
What's not boring?
This one guy, while I was sitting with my girlfriend watching The Amazing Race, kept whispering something to his girlfriend, who was like one of my girlfriend's roommates. And I was like, what are they talking about? And he's like, well, you really have to play all the games. You really have to play all the games in order to understand. And I was like, what's this guy talking about? And then I'm like, hey, what are you guys talking about? And he's like, have you seen the Mario movie? And I was like, what? And he's like, but like, have you seen it? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, but have you like played all the recent Mario games? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, it's one of those things that you really have to, in order to really enjoy it, you have to like have played that, because they really really put so many references into it to those more recent games that like really
rocks.
make it kind of a nice experience. And so,
Goddamn.
and I
Some
think
people just have to die. Huh?
he was literally
What do you mean? I love that
telling
guy.
his girlfriend like, hey, listen, this is
That's
like,
how I described the
like,
Mario movie. To
this is probably why
somebody
you
who
didn't like
know.
the Mario movie, is because it's so couched in the references of
The Mario movie was made for children who can barely use a controller. And you're
said-
arguing that to fully
Yeah.
enjoy it, you have to have played the game? No, you're a man-child.
They've
With
never
a child's
played-
taste.
Well, because like I was like, he was like, "What? How did you like about it?" And I was like, "That movie was like made for the fans of the video game first, and kind of as like a movie second." Is how I
which
said.
video game?
And he was like nodding, and he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "That was not like a compliment to the movie." I was not saying that because I'm like, "Well, you need to have a lot of," and like
it
for
was
me,
really critical to Mario's lore that they get certain things right.
It really analyzed the toxic masculinity inherent to the series and put it in a new direction.
Did
which
you
is
see when
positive.
Peach picked up the axe though? That was pretty woke.
God.
I think it was more of a reference to
Don't
Mario Wonder.
They shouldn't let women do things in these movies.
No,
because-
never.
Or just,
really
when are we get movies where guys are cool again?
What are we going
When
to
are we
have?
gonna get a movie for
big,
guys?
strong men in action films. What are we going to have?
Where's all the media for the guys?
Where's all the guys media? We see Barbie, but that's all there is, really.
Yeah.
There's only Barbie, and I haven't seen any movies being made for the guys.
Yeah,
I haven't fucking watched any movies for men in years.
Yeah,
because they're not making them.
they're not making them. They're only making them for women. She-Hulk, Barbie are the only two things that came out in the past couple of years.
I know what I wanted to talk about. The other night, I was working at the bar, and it was close to the end of the night. People were trickling out. There was only there's maybe 15 people left in the bar at this point, and I see a bunch of dudes all bunched together, all talking to one of our bartenders who is she's like an attractive woman. So I kind of chuckled at that, look at these drunk dudes all obsessing over this hot girl.
Yeah.
But they're really talking passionately about something. I hear one of them goes imagine being in the tower. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what the fuck? And I asked her later, I'm like, what was that group of 5 dudes all screaming at you about? And she was like 9/11.
That's so cool.
Apparently they came up and they're like, have you heard of 9/11?
Have you heard of it?
And
Sort of
familiar?
And she was like, yeah. And they were like, do you want to know more?
Oh my
Some
god!
men after
If someone
my own
said that to
heart.
me, I'd be like, "Go on all night. Just keep talking."
Oh yeah.
What more did they have to say about it?
No, because when they
she shut
asked,
them
do you
down.
want to know more? She went, no, because we deal with drunks a lot. And you eventually learn that they have more to take than to give.
Yeah, I doubt they were going to talk about Tower 7.
I think these guys
Saudi
had a lot.
Arabia.
I think these guys had a lot to give.
or
Honestly,
anything. They're probably just going to say something about the science, and
The
they
science
and they
of
don't even
9/11.
they don't even know anything about the science.
what exactly is the science of 9/11? They just put a bunch of planes through buildings.
But Jack, would it happen like that?
Who's to say? Probably those guys.
Those guys would say, it's do you want to know more about 9/11? All of it's true. Everything they said was real.
Yeah. You want to know more about 9/11? And they start just debunking conspiracy.
Yeah. They're like, we're just trying to spread some truth around here. Trust your media. CNN's never lied to
Not
you.
the people who call themselves 9/11 truthers, but they're actually just debunking theories.
They're deep
No, they said the masks didn't work at first because they wanted to get them for healthcare workers. That's why they lied to us.
The steel beams wouldn't melt, but they would buckle under the pressure, causing the building to
These
collapse.
buildings were not made to survive plane crashes.
I do like the idea of a plane crash proof building. Just birds.
It's called the goddamn Pentagon, baby.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Yeah, well, that's hard to really. You have to blanket that with planes or kind of get a running start into them. The Pentagon really is just a tough one to.
We got to just do
the crack.
Geofront from Evangelion.
Yeah,
That's how you make plane.
Well, okay. Well, that sounds even less safe. I'm not gonna
just
lie.
upside down.
yeah.
building.
How's a plane gonna hit that? It's underground.
I do like the idea that you just
Such-
walk
such-
outside
such
and
a
you're
good
in an
point.
upside down building and you're just tired.
I didn't like how those buildings in Evangelion, they would go underground, but then they would also go above ground.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because when there weren't the aliens around.
Why bother having it go back and forth? Have it just stay underground.
You can't have an underground
They
city.
already had all the streets.
They had an underground.
No, but the city was hanging from the
It
top.
doesn't
of the
have
geofront.
any of the infrastructure underground. That's just to keep them safe.
Okay. And then also having giant monsters stomping around above in your city, that's not going to knock some of these buildings loose below.
The geofront, it's not just a layer of ground and then they're dangling
Yeah,
from the earth.
but-
It's a lot of earth and they're just kind of poking out the bottom.
Yeah.
And also, why is it so open down there? They didn't need it to be that open.
I think
That's just because it looks cool.
Yeah,
I won't defend that.
Wasn't the
as being-
geofront made before all of that? Wasn't the geofront the place where Lilith was, and so they just kind of had that down there, and they're like, well, we got to defend this.
I don't know. Evangelion its strength is that it doesn't waste too much time explaining that shit.
Yeah,
because the moment that it does, you're like, that's the dumbest explanation that I've heard.
A big long explanation for like, actually, you know, like too many anime.
Carnage.
I read Black Clover. I got caught with Black Clover. I don't know, dude. Sometimes I just get in these moods where I'm like, give me some trash.
Just shovel
and like, it's just one of those where like every character ends up having a moment where it's like, actually, they were crucial to the entire structure of the world since day one for this reason.
There's literally nothing less interesting in a narrative than like being.
And it's like, I don't know, if you imply that shit, like that can be kind of cool. But like, if you have like a flashback explaining why this is the most super duper awesome,
including the fire guy, including the lightning guy.
I don't even know the characters in Black Clover except
the lightning
for the
and
guy.
Fire guys, like the side characters. You mean the Black Bulls? No, they don't get that. Although the fire guy, he has an awesome fight where, you know, I won't explain it. It won't be good on the podcast.
I'm not gonna fucking read this.
It does have some good fights. I won't lie, but it's mostly trash.
I think I got to the point where they were defending like the other kingdom that is like the prince of or whatever.
Spade Kingdom. It hasn't gone much farther than that. It's switched to like a quarterly release, not even monthly, and like 50-page chapters. So it's a slow crawl right now.
The Dragon Ball did that, like the new Dragon Ball Super stuff, and it's just impossible to keep up with because you like read it.
You're not going to remember to check on it quarterly.
Yeah, there's definitely like some people who have like their alarm set and they're like the new Black Clover chapters.
Wait, it's releasing 4 times a year?
Yeah, something like that. The next
only 50 pages?
Well, no, 50 pages per release. So
yeah,
but it's still less than a weekly release.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, it's like 2.5 months. Like a weekly release would probably be like 20 pages, so you're getting significantly
the art
less.
has gone better since they switched to that.
Why don't they just do normal monthly stuff?
Because it kills mangaka to do like anything beyond like probably that
monthly
clip.
Fine.
I'm not gonna bitch about the release. Like, it's slower, it's less convenient to consume that way, but it's also like, you know, it's one of those series where like I leave it for like years and then I'm like, I wonder where it's at now.
Yeah, that's.
Those series, go check it out.
Black Clover.
Black Rover.
It's awesome after the time skip.
Time skip.
There's a time skip, and Asta, he trains and he gets muscular, but part of his character is being short.
Baby face.
So he's just like a brick shit house.
He really is a brick shit house. Yeah, he's just wide and buff as fuck.
Does he just have that silly little baby face still?
Yeah, he has the same face, but he's just fucking jacked.
It is pretty cool.
I like that they went that way because like a lot of people they'll do a time skip and then the person just shows up with like maybe a scar and they're wearing like edgier clothes now.
Yeah.
You know, but like them, they're like he went and he fucking trained, so now he's strong and he's big and buff.
Yeah. It's also I assume way harder to like draw that. Like it's probably way easier to draw like fluid motion without having to like account for the fact that this man is 90% muscle at this point.
You're gonna have him covered in clothes that don't even show the definition.
Well, no, they don't really do that. They've just got like a little sash. They've got like
they show off his muscles.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the art's pretty good in that series, and I like that it has fast pacing.
Yeah,
an arc starts. And they introduce the villains, and it is not long before they're fucking those villains.
They do not Togashi that shit.
Yeah.
They're like, here's why they're so much more powerful than the last guys. Here's how we're going to beat them.
You better get stronger fucking now.
And here's how we're going to beat them. They're like, you're going to equip your demon.
All right.
And you're like, oh, the demon was a good guy. Also, Wyatt, he airdropped this in. This is a breaking story, apparently. He said, put this on the pod. So.
You know.
He knows. Wyatt always knows.
Oh, we're doing it right now. That's crazy.
This is why people don't typically let me drink coffee.
Oh,
and it's
fucking
not because I don't like it. It's because now my husband has to deal with me all the way home, and we still have another 3.5 hours left.
So awful.
That man looks like he wants to fucking die.
It's a really sad video.
That is a really sad video, honestly.
Well, listen, man. He married her fucking dumbass.
What, he made her?
He married her.
I made you. I made you put that coffee away.
Clay. I forged you from clay. You will not drink the coffee.
You are my rib.
If my significant other gets too hyperactive like that, I'm not gonna marry them.
I'm gonna put him in timeout.
She's gonna annoy him? Yeah, you're fucking annoying as everybody in the planet by posting this goddamn video.
Well, that I think just shows how annoying she is, where she's like, this is so, like, he's like pissed off that she's drunk this much coffee and she's gonna be bouncing off the fucking car
What do they
walls.
talk about? What do you think? Do they talk?
That guy doesn't look like he's doing a lot of talking. That guy looks like he's doing a lot of like morosing.
Yeah, he probably just drinks and smokes weed and doesn't really play.
I don't know what to say other than she was annoying in that video, and she's pretty ugly.
Oh, she's very ugly.
Pretty rough.
She's got those beaver teeth.
I mean that's why
gummy.
That's what you get out of that video, right? If we're being honest,
Yeah.
You look at her and you go, she's annoying and she's ugly.
I think
you can't do both. You can't do both.
If you're gonna be annoying like that, you have to be hot.
And if you're gonna be ugly, you don't be annoying.
Yeah, that is legitimately.
If you're
like,
ugly, you have to be perfect.
If you're ugly, you at least have to be like amicable. Like when people talk to you, people already have like a bad opinion of you the moment they lay eyes on you. What you have to do is like subvert that. If you're like this, then you're like, no, you're not hot enough to do that. I mean,
look, those two people are probably fine, but it sucks
for each other. Yeah.
It sucks as a TikTok, and that guy clearly didn't want to be in the TikTok.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was doing your goodbye.
Just leave him alone.
And he actually, I guess after like she posted the TikTok, he crashed the car with them both into a tree.
Oh my god!
Is this real?
Yeah, no, I literally looked it up.
Just looked it up.
He looked it up. Oh my god! Yeah. I hope they're in heaven.
I mean, it's a horrifying accident, but it is very understandable.
Is this real?
Well, what happened was that was his coffee, and he was kind of getting drowsy. But she's like, you know, I love my coffee. She laughed like Woody the Woodpecker.
Closed his eyes one last time, and the wheel spun out.
I do love the idea that he closed his eyes and he's just like, just take us both. At least kill her too, God.
Please,
God, let me survive this crash.
But she was going to die in the crash, but then she used her gnarly beaver teeth to eat through.
Yeah, she ate through. Yeah. She was able to escape, but she left him for dead.
They went into a ditch, and the car flipped. She was trapped, but she was able to eat through the steel.
Yeah. Take a big ass chunk.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm so hyper right now.
She actually ran instead of. She ran all the way to the hospital and told him about it. She's like, lady, you should have called us. She's like, oop, little dunce when I'm a little hyper with caffeine. Ooh. It's like, you're bleeding.
She's like, ma'am, your arm is twisted around the wrong way. I don't feel it. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling pepped up.
I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling amplified.
That's what caffeine does to me.
Yeah.
That's why I can't drink it.
Speaking of women being retards, no, that's the cum pills.
Yeah,
those are the cum pills.
Came in my pants.
Let's see. Speaking of, there's two women being retards. One of them is that the Florida teen who beat his female teacher unconscious after playing his Nintendo Switch video game was confiscated at school, pleaded guilty to shocking crime on Monday, and faces 30 years behind bars.
What the fuck are you gonna do? Not plead innocent?
So wait,
what is she gonna do? Not steal his Nintendo Switch? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm saying
that's his fucking property.
Was wrong.
Why today's society it doesn't let boys game?
Yeah, it doesn't let the boys.
That's the biggest issue.
It's like she's like, oh, I'm gonna steal your property, and he's like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. And I think that's a fair,
reasonable retaliation.
What do you mean?
No, I said I think it's fair. Yeah,
that's his shit. That's his shit. And he's like, I'm playing Super Mario Wonder.
But what's he gonna do? Not plead guilty? It happens.
Yeah, that's a tough one to get out of. That's a tough one to wiggle your way out of. Once you have on video you beating the shit out of your teacher, it's like, well, that was.
I did do that.
Can
I get the Switch in jail?
Do we know what game he was playing?
We don't.
Probably something totally fucking bullshit.
Probably Madden.
Not worth on the Switch.
Can you play Madden on the Switch?
Yeah, they release it every year. But it's something where it's like probably a game where it's like not a gamer game. If he was playing like Octopath Traveler, I think that would rock. Where he's just
It would be a little bit more understandable.
where she's like, she turns it off and then like fucks up his save.
A save point.
Yeah. She's like, put your game down. He's like, I'm almost done. And then she's like, I don't have enough power as a teacher. I'm going to steal your thing. And then he haymakers her.
Dude,
and
teachers, they have it way too fucking easy.
And in that moment, she was like, oh, yeah.
That's what everyone's saying is that teachers have it too easy right now. And like, you know, they can just go around and be fucking bitches and take away people's games.
The problem is they make themselves
and act
so
like
unsympathetic.
they're not the problem.
Yeah. Exactly. They make themselves so unsympathetic
If I was
that
a
I'm
teacher,
like,
all we do in class would be gaming.
What we're seeing happening to the Palestinians right now is happening to gamers across this country.
Gamers rise up, the true oppressed class.
that is true. Yeah, I've felt that for a long time, and it's kind of like the Iron Dome is you beating up a teacher, but then the legal system stops you.
I was on a
well, that's the other way around.
I was on a FaceTime with my dad and sister the other day, and
why are you doing that, man?
No, you won't check in with family.
They're in a different country right now.
Yeah,
so I got to FaceTime them.
I'm just kidding.
And my sister goes, Finn, how do you feel about Palestine? And she gives my dad a look like they had fought about it. I know the look and I'm like, I lean towards free Palestine. And I'm like, but let's not talk about it. My dad goes, okay. I'm like, I don't even want to fucking know.
What the fuck?
that's
what do
a
you
tough
want
thing
me
to
to say?
hash out over FaceTime. That's
I didn't bring this up. I'm not going to keep it going.
Yeah.
Feel however you want to feel about it.
Yeah, as if it affects like his life at all.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fun.
No, that is a fun family conversation.
My sister loves bringing up politics. She knows my parents will hate around them, and then she brings me into it, and I go, I agree with you, but I don't want to talk about this today.
She's like, he'll back me up, and you're like, not this time. The funniest thing though is all of the people who are like Free Palestine that are like, well, like, you know, Palestine's not
I'll also
like
bleep out my sister's name. If you can.
I can.
Sorry.
All the people who are like Free Palestine, but they're like, Palestine also has to, in order for me to view them as the Harry Potter in this conflict, Palestine has to be like completely 100% good. So a bunch of people are like, Palestine legalized gay marriage in the 90s and they haven't told you about it. And I'm like, no, they're still like bad guys. Like you could be like, yeah, it's bad that we're killing all of them.
The Palestinians are not bad people. Their government might be bad.
That's what I mean. I don't want, every time that we talk about entire countries, it's obvious we're talking about like the foreign policies and the government.
No, that's not obvious actually. That's why that's a point of contention.
So
I think that there is definitely an attempt to, it's a very different country that is frankly going to have more conservative values, whether you're talking about the Israeli people there or the Palestinian people there, and people are trying to make them out when they like go for that gay marriage thing to be like the wokest people alive, and it's like that's not the crux of the matter. The crux of the matter is that they are genociding these people.
Yeah, we shouldn't have to be like, well, they've legalized.
Right. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if the Palestinians are a culture of like authoritarian, right?
Yeah.
Nazis. They're being genocided. It doesn't matter what they, you know, if they're woke or not. That's entirely not relevant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is one of those things though, where it's like, yeah, like it's the same thing with like Israel, where you're not talking about every Israeli person being like evil. You're talking about like the government that's a part of that.
Yeah, but a lot of Israelis are.
Interesting point. Let's talk about the Palestinians and what their views on all of these things are.
Well, I mean, Israel itself is a culture of propaganda of its citizens and like how they teach like what Palestinians are. They don't consider them human, and that's what you learn in like school in Israel. Like a lot of people that are Israeli speak to this, and like. I mean, that's nothing to say, like, people can't be, like, counter-propagandized, you know, and escape from that. I'm just saying, like, you see the people, like, posting TikToks making fun of people that have been bombed in their houses. And I'm like, But why are you like that? Like, you're not like an IDF person. You're not a member of government. You're just a normal Israeli who is making fun of people that are being killed.
Well, yeah, I mean, but it's also something where if you scroll down, did you guys see any of those, like, here are all the people that that like all of the Hamas like kidnapped, and then you scroll down to the squiggle letters and click translate? Have you ever seen those?
Where the squiggle letters
you don't
Arabic?
You don't want to fucking do that. I'm just saying that's not a good idea. You see a lot of people being like, she'll be a good rape victim. Like she looks awesome to be raped.
Don't say that. That's bad.
Yeah. So I think it's one of those things where it's like when you're in the middle of that, you're gonna be like that.
Tensions flare high, but I think there's definitely one side that needs to lower them.
I think both of them could do with chilling. I think both of them could stop saying we're gonna like these guys look awesome for raping in the comments of Twitter things.
I mean, there's just no way. That all stems from the conflict itself, you know? Bottom line, stop genocide Palestinians. And then I don't know the solution to bring the conflicts down. And I don't approve people saying that they should be raped. That's fucked up and horrific, you know? As well as I don't approve, like, you guys seen that TikTok of the woman being like, I'm so glad when I hear our wonderful IDF planes bombing them.
Yeah, those are fucking
giving
crazy.
them a taste of the wrath of God, right? Like, that's all horrific, right? But like, that's not the problem that's going on here. You know, that's not the issue that needs to be dealt with.
The issue is the actions being taken by both the Israeli government by genociding a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And then them being like, sorry, that's just life. And it's like, well, you know, it's not really like you can't be out here being like,
we did it. We got into it. No,
I'd do a terrorism if I was living in Gaza. I'd do a big terrorism.
Like somebody bombs my family, and I'm like, what do I have now but to become?
If all of a sudden like America decided Omaha, Nebraska is not part of the United States, and all Nebraskans, you know, like
their lives,
and they started bombing the shit out of us, which is not a great analogy.
No,
but I'm saying in that situation, I would be pretty upset, and I might say some awful shit.
Yeah. Well, that's what's going to happen if, Jack, your plan to put Israel in Nebraska. That's what's going to happen.
What's wrong with that? I still think that's an excellent plan.
We're going to be getting bombed, and we're going to become terrorists.
Why are we bombing Israel when they're in the middle of Nebraska? Who the fuck cares?
Well, no,
they still want the Palestinians out of there.
Well, no. If we put,
if we bring Israel here,
we're bringing the whole thing.
Well, it's all one play. Israel is like Palestine is technically like a part of Israel.
No, I'm saying the borders, like current borders.
I think Jack's
chop up.
plan is to take
all the different
the Israeli people.
Oh, okay.
And be like, this is your new Jerusalem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we're taking all the land, so it's like all the Holy Land. It's like we're picking up all the shit that the Palestinians are like, that's our Holy Land too. It's like, well, it's in Nebraska, so you got to come visit if you want to see it.
You know how they like to justify the creation of Israel through like the years of like the Jews like living there,
if
not
only
living
the Back
there.
To the Future guys got there
like whatever. Like they go back like 3,000 years ago. We were the people who lived here. But I guess one of the earliest plans for the nation state of like Jews that they were going to make after World War II was to put it in Uganda.
That's
I would really like to see how they would have had to like biblically justify that nowadays.
Well, no, I do. Well, it's like one of those annoying things where it's like everyone's like, well, if you go back a little further, and I'm like, yeah, but like right now, what's happening? Like what? Like actively right now.
Actually, what's happening currently?
If you don't like, I hate those charts that are like, here's what Israel is supposed to look like, and it's like, well, no, here's what Palestine's supposed to look like, and I'm like, both of this happened like so long ago. Like, who's living there right now? It's a bunch of kids, and you're bombing them. Yeah. Like, stop doing that.
Well, really, all of it should belong to the Turkish Empire. So
yeah, exactly.
We're being
100%
ourselves.
And then Napoleon was like, "You guys, here's Israel," and then Palestinians kicked him out, and then they're like, "Now it's our Israel now."
You see that they got the cattle tags on them now.
Yeah,
they got the things around their ankle, and they're marking Palestinian homes with like the red paint.
Yeah, they really. You know what? They really do have to figure out those rockets, though, because when everyone was like, it's obvious Israeli people bombed the hospital, and then Hamas was like, that was actually our bad. Like, we didn't mean to do that, but that was actually, I'm like, guys, you're really fucking it up. You guys need to figure out this fucking rocket thing.
Yeah.
It was tough. But you know what I say? Thanks for listening to the Brown Bricks
Thanks for
podcast.
listening to Brown Bricks Podcast.
Take your cum pills.
Take your cum pills.
brownbrickspodcast@gmail.com.
I'm about to go sprinkle these in a bunch of women's drinks and see what happens.
Tell us the volume of your load.
Yeah, send us an email with a picture of your load.
Very blatantly opening like one of these capsules, like trying to
like a
tap it
fucking
out.
horse capsule.
I'm not going to explain what I mean by this, and this is the final thing before we end here. But I entirely believe that Gorilla Mind Lock and Load can solve the Israeli-Palestine conflict.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And that's what I'm going to leave
I'm
you
willing
guys
to
on.
concur. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.